Good morning, my name is Danielle Peck of Architecture Associates, and I'll be presenting to you today Conservatory Adaptation, a reimagining of the former Boch Conservatory. The traditional custodians of the land where the project resides are the Villeroy people of the Kulin Nation. The project is part of a single residential land title, but includes ambitions for cultural programming, which I'll talk to more in the presentation. Architecture Associates' scope was to redevelop the interior of a previously restored conservatory, number one, to relocate external services of the conservatory, number two, to look for an opportunity to create an outdoor summer conversation and seating area, number three, to develop a solution for west shading to an existing bedroom pavilion, number four, and also aligned with that was to create new openings in the west facade of the existing bedroom pavilion. All other works on the site are pre-existing by multiple others. The conservatory was part of a larger Victorian estate. This is just a bit of history, called Labassa. The residence, which is pictured in the two images on the left, is across the road from the subject site. The image on the right is how the client bought the property. So as you can see, it was heavily modified prior to restoration. The conservatory building itself is rarely pictured. This is one of the only known interior images that we have to look at here. And the actual conservatory was believed to be part of quite an extensive renovation of the original Labassa, probably circa 1890. The conservatory structure itself has a simple rectangular plan with a brick base and a superstructure of cast iron columns and roof trusses. Our project, to reimagine the interior of this structure, attempts to work deliberately within the heritage context, making distinctive elaborations and appendages. The client's brief was to develop a space that respected the structure, but opened it up to future possibilities. It needed to house the conveniences of a modern family kitchen living, but be flexible enough to be utilised as an experimental social gathering space, in particular to film views publicly. Client's established garden became a way to order small insertions into the heritage context, in a way reversing the structure's original intent to house a garden and allowing the occupants instead to view the garden from within. The elements of the interior included a new furniture item along the southern boundary, which houses all of the kitchen living conveniences, a breakfast bar in the north boundary, and concealed low-height storage underneath, a suspended retractable film screen central, and all associated audio-visual equipment. Tile repair, the heritage tile on the ground was original, but there was quite a lot of repair done during the renovation, and various display items, stands, fixtures for the client's art and object collection. This is just a quick before and after, which I'll describe a little more in the following slides. We concentrated the required amenity into a large piece of custom furniture shown here in elevation at the bottom of the screen. The furniture aligns with a pronounced decorative pressed metal fascia and therefore adheres to the structure's original proportion. We worked closely with Chapman and Bailey, furniture makers and framers, to develop this long piece, which was made in 6 parts. The client's interest in film was an inspiration for us to create a piece that was animated. The unit transforms the space through kinetic parts. A variety of sliding and hinged doors reveal surprises and create delight. The occupant is able to therefore edit what is visible and avert and what is hidden and private. Given we were working essentially in a glass house, storage was at a premium. We needed to map out every single object and make sure there was a place for it. A detailed breakdown of kitchen utensils, crockery, etc. informed the arrangement. In this image we can see, along the southern boundary grows significant monstera plants which flower regularly. We wanted to capture glimpses through this garden wherever possible, so large windows were cut into the furniture piece and framed to focus the eye. Art and other objects are integrated into the design. The blue used on some of the components was matched from the original Villeroy Boch tiles, which you can see highlights of in the floor. The structure for this piece is on turned timber feet to give it the appearance of floating over the original heritage structure. In this image we can see the hipped roof interior. All audio-visual equipment was made white, the same white as the surrounding structure, to disappear. The truss that supports the suspended screen and projector elements was reinforced by an almost invisible 8mm round Ronstand rod, providing the stiffening we required to suspend all the audio-visual. New lighting was introduced to the joinery along the rear to enable softer lighting within. The brighter interior now stands in contrast to the grey and red tones of the exterior. More glimpses of the interior from the garden pathway. A detail shot of one of the windows created in the unit with a chamfered edge that allowed a backdrop for the client's bust sculpture. A large hidden door reveals a wine store and bar. Given the client's love of sharing film, this was an important consideration for film night. The client wanted to remove traces of domesticity throughout to enable cultural discussion to flourish with regular film nights and readings. Therefore, we removed all skirtings, a delicate operation. Edges of the conservatory were treated as opportunities to house elements. And this photo on the right, you can see we've thickened the base, so trying to take advantage of the structure with slight alterations and moderations. Thank you. The breakfast bar appears hovering over the new display shelf, and the structure is hidden beneath. The cross-section here also shows the projector screen while suspended. And here we see how it might operate in film mode with reflections cast across the floor and refracted in the glass. The soft and textured treatment of the long joinery element assists with acoustics in what was otherwise a very reflective space. Complementary interventions were developed in the landscape, such as the west shading screen in front of the existing bedroom pavilion and the circular seating nook designed to be a well-shaded social space in summer. You can see here the before and after, where we had a large collection of existing services and what we sort of transformed it into afterwards. The large shade screen is the same proportion of the existing bedroom pavilion beyond and translucent in nature, so elements can still be read through and understood. A long planter bed was integrated into the base of this screen to allow a star jasmine to creep over time and assist with shading the glass stair beyond. The bedroom views out now through the creeper, and the views from within the conservatory are now totally surrounded by garden, a complete inversion of its original intent. We hope we've delivered something in line with our client's brave vision and a pretty unconventional way of living. A project that sought to champion the original bones of the structure but transform it into a contemporary and joyful living experience. Thank you.
Great.